I like that.
Now, Scott, would you agree
No.
that everybody out there needs to listen to Excessive Celebration?
Yes.
All right.
I would agree to that. Bill, would you agree
Yes.
that it is playoff time in the Major League Baseball world?
I would.
And 3-1 right now,
3-1.
top of the 7th, the Brew Crew over the Natties.
Do we know who is pitching for the Brewers?
I think they started with Woodruff.
Okay.
I can't tell now because who's
there-
pitching now.
There's one thing that the Brewers have that a lot of teams don't have. They have a back end of the bullpen. Hader is like this decade's version of John Rocker.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
a little bit turned down from what Rocker was, but he's borderline John Rocker.
But he's a player, Hader.
Oh, yeah.
Hader. That's like the old story when Joe Torre was playing for the Cardinals and stepped across the plate to guys coming in, sliding in, steal, to get home, and the guy in the stand said, "That's no chicken catcher, Torre." All right, Bill. Brewers, Nats. That's on one side. You got the Rays and the Athletics getting after it tomorrow. Before we talk beyond that, it's looking bleak for the Natties right now, and
Yeah.
I would have leaned their way
I would have too, yeah.
just because of the pitching matchup to begin with.
You got Scherzer on the mound. He should win you a ball game.
Yeah, and I even wrote down here in my notes, Bill, how many innings I was thinking he would be in control, and then at what point would they be able to pull him to get serious about what's next? They ain't going to be any next right now.
So, you know how random teams get on those weird runs because of whatever incident, like say a player passed away or something happened with the team traumatically, or fan base, somebody's done something in a fan base, or the hurricane from Houston, and Houston rallies and then starts winning World Series and
Spider bites in the dugout.
that too. So do you think they're rallying behind Christian Yelich? Could this be the Brewers' year?
But yeah, I just have a real hard time with that, and I know it's a real thing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, what was it that Alex Grinch said the other day? And I got to tell you, I'm liking that guy more and more. And by the way, he had been at Washington State, but he did come from Ohio State. He was like co-defensive coordinator there when he left.
They need to drop that.
Yeah.
That's the horrible thing.
Well, but anyway, they were talking about the late hit or the cheap shot, and then how OU's defense got riled up. And his point was, I hate it that that it took that for us to play at a high level.
Right.
So, whatever analogy you want to make there, I don't feel like I'm qualified to answer that. If you're asking me, you're either playing for yourself and your team, or you're not, and I'm just too simple-minded to.
But you can totally agree with that statement, though, because after that, they lit up the quarterback, the running back, on about 5 straight plays.
But I think his point was,
right.
Why do you have to get juiced up to do what we're asking you to do on every play?
I don't know. That's the same theory of when you come out after halftime and you play down because you're up by 21 for some reason. You don't just continue rolling. It's, why do teams do that? Like, what's the mindset of, we got this game in the bag, why aren't we continuing to play at our high level? There's a drop off to some. It's a human nature thing.
Yeah, but if you're Alex Grinch and you've taken over a program that has been ridiculously soft, you don't ever give them an opportunity to be able. You have to stay on them hard. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. But you can, no matter who the new coach is, even under Saban's watch, we've seen it before, that no matter how tough-nosed, how new, how old, or whatever the situation is, teams go through that ebb and flow thing.
Well, so are we back to, then is this the ebb part for Washington?
It might be.
Or the flow part for Milwaukee?
I don't know.
But you've been right on. I mean, you made a big point after the injury that this was either going to be kind of a make or break thing. And right now, let's put it this way. How can I argue that point when they're winning like they are?
They've got solid. They still have solid hitters. You got Thames, who went yard tonight. Aguilar, who can hit very, very well. I mean, they've got guys. Arcia's played really well too, that have hit the ball. But I thought their weakness all along was the front end pitching staff. Their bullpen has been pretty reliable, but their front end is where I thought they would struggle. And they may get through this game tonight, but we'll see what happens down the road when they start playing a little bit better team or teams.
Yeah, well, there's still 9 outs for the Natties. They're just down 2, but and I think Strasburg might be.
Well, yeah, you've got to throw everybody in this game. I mean, there's no if, ands, or buts. You throw everybody in this game to try to limit whatever runs you can limit. But are you going to start second guessing the manager now? Hey, we should have thrown Strasburg.
How about this question for you, Bill? The Dodgers, who don't they want to play out of these two teams?
Well, I would say the Nationals. And that's just because you can throw Strasburg and Scherzer. I guess if the Brewers stay hot or can get hot, they're scary. But the Nationals, you could say the same thing with Rendon and Soto.
Right. Okay, then let's flip over to the American League. You've got Tampa Bay and Oakland, and they're very close to each other, so it's like a turnpike series almost, if the turnpike's 2,500 miles long. Again, what's the key there? And I'll ask the same question. Who doesn't Houston want to play coming out of that?
I don't think Houston cares.
That was the second question I was going to ask, or do they even care?
To me, Tampa seems scarier. Lineup-wise, they seem scary. It's a lot of good young guys that don't know they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Athletics are also in that kind of same boat. They've got a lot of good young guys, but they also got quite a few veteran guys that play really well. I get this sneaking suspicion Tampa Bay is going to find their way into that game. And again, after the show, or when the show airs, it'll already happen. So,
right. That's why I'm trying to put you on the spot.
Right. I'm going to say Tampa slides in there. Between the two, I think they're pretty close to being the same team.
Right.
I would lean. I don't know that you can say one's. I've been saying all year that Snell has been the one true ace on either of the teams, but Snell has kind of dropped a little bit off his pace. But for one game, I think he can get it back and he can pitch really well.
You know, the series to me, Twins and Yankees, I kind of lean towards the Yankees.
That could be a home run fest.
But that's going to be interesting. I think the most captivating series to me is probably St. Louis and Atlanta, simply because I think those teams kind of mirror each other to some degree, and I think that'll be an interesting series. Bill, wouldn't it be something if Tampa Bay found a way to not only win the wild card game, but up in the Astros? Because I don't think can't think of anybody that the Yankees would rather not play than Tampa Bay, just because of the familiarity of it.
You know, honestly, I'm one of the few people that like to see the best team versus the best team, but at some aspects, so college football, I'd like to see anybody else play besides the Alabama and the Clemsons of the world right now. Because when we get it year after year after year, it's okay. We get it already. You're really good, but let's get some new life in there, right?
Futile, not feudal like serfs.
If Tampa can get in there, and if Tampa can, for their confidence going into next year, make it somewhat of a close series, right? They don't have to win, but make it close. That bodes so much extra points for them going into next year. Same thing with Oakland if they make it in too. That team is still relatively young, that they will have a good upside too of going into next year. I just think Houston's so untouchable, and it's hard to even say that the Yankees will give them a good series, but that's the only team that could give them a good series.
Yeah, I'm more here. Tampa Bay. I guess Morton's going to start, but
Morton. So
they got to go all the way to Oakland. If they win that, then on Friday they head to Houston to start that series. That's tough. Man.
Morton's a solid pitcher. Morton came from Houston.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I guess everybody resurrects their career and learns how to really spin a ball. And he's kind of had an up and down season, but Morton went on, he's as untouchable as Verlander and Greinke and all of them. So it could be a really, really close game.
So right now, the schedule shapes up for tomorrow night, Rays at Athletics. The winner of that game, Friday, will play against Houston. The Twins and Yankees also open on Friday. We mentioned the National League. Right now, it appears with an inning and 2.5 innings to go, Milwaukee looks like they may be slotted against the Dodgers. That starts on Thursday night, along with the Cardinals and the Braves. So, man, it's here, Bill. It's time.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I really think this is maybe my favorite time of the year sports-wise. You got college and pro footballs fully engaged. You got the baseball playoffs going on now.
Basketball preseason
It's
is almost
right,
started.
yeah, right there. There's a lot going on. It's pretty fun.
Did you see James Harden try that one-footed jumper?
Yes.
Oh man, if he starts making that, like at that point, this guy is truly unguardable. Like, A, the difficulty of that shot. B, the already traveling version of that shot he's got now with his step back, which is supposedly not traveling, but
It's like everybody's learning from Dirk Nowitzki.
yeah, it's that shot in general has got to be now the new toughest shot in basketball.
Yeah.
And if he starts hitting that with regularity, then it's over.
Well, it's really going to make somebody else awful mad that he's getting all that attention. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, Westbrook's going to average 97 assists this year.
That's right.
A game.
That's right. And I'll tell you something, the one thing that's going to happen in Oklahoma City is Steven Adams is going to be able to get a rebound now. I'm not going to have to wait for the ball to bounce down so Russ can get it.
He's got a legitimate shot to be a 2020 guy.
He does, because I think Chris Paul's going to make him better.
It's
We kind of, Bill, I was just going to say we kind of shifted.
Yeah.
Anything else baseball wise? Because we're up against time here with the NFL.
Yeah, I would like to see Tampa Bay win, and then I want to see who do we have in the other one in the NL? It's Washington, and I'm going to pull from Milwaukee in this game. I know they're winning already, but I'm going to pull from Milwaukee because I think they're the better complete team.
Yeah, I think at least based on what we saw at the end of the year, they kind of put it together, and it may very well be what you said in terms of the support for the fallen teammates. So.
Yeah.
We'll be back to talk very briefly about Texas Tech and Kansas. Then we're going to move to the NFL and hopefully have time to share our picks with you. And Bill, you may not know this, but Skyler's winning. So we'll talk about that. No, he is. Yeah, I know he is.
I thought we started over.
Well, we may have to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I lost it. It's like when you're about to lose in Connect 4.
I was thinking that. Yeah, you flip the bottom.
And then you just, I coughed.
Yeah. Or Etch-a-Sketch, where you just start over again.
Oh, well, it's not a cowboy anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
You're listening to Excessive Celebration, reminding you to always
pick
that app.